Hey guys, my name is Danielle. I am the founder and president of Good Morning Bears. And a friend of mine asked me to, or I offered to make a video to show her how to stamp. And I just recently learned how, so I am by no stretch of the imagination an expert at this. I'm just going to show you what I have learned from watching YouTube videos and doing my own research. So the few things that you're going to need is, actually I'll just move this down here, a stamping kit. This is newsprint, and this is uppercase alphabet letters. So you'll need that. You'll need a pair of scissors, a polishing cloth, or paper towel or washcloth or anything that you don't mind getting stained up, because that's where you're going to wipe your ink off. A hammer, and they say you should have at least a 1-pound hammer. Mine is a 10-ounce hammer. It seems to be working fine. I got this at Walmart for $5. So I'm planning on getting one of the, I think it's a bronze tip, I believe it is, 1-pound hammer, but for now this is what I have, and it seems to be working really well. So just a regular hammer I think would work just fine if you didn't want to buy a $25 hammer. You need a bench block, and this is what you're going to stamp on. It protects your surface, and it also absorbs the blow of the hit from the hammer. And then you're going to need tape to tape down your metal blanks. And then you will need blanks. So you can get these little washers. There's also these little charms like this. Like that. These little smaller ones. There's also big ones. There's several different that you kinds that you can choose from. I've just went to Hobby Lobby and got on eBay and ordered several different ones and found some on clearance. So I got a bunch, and I actually went to the hardware store and bought these washers. And I got a whole bag for $1.89. And these would be really good to just practice on. And some of them are actually good enough to put on a keychain or something, I think. But they would be really good to practice on because they're really cheap. Like I said, it was $1.89, and I got all of these are in here. There's probably at least 100. And then you're also going to need ink or a Sharpie permanent marker. A lot of people will use those. I really like this patina ink. I got it at Hobby Lobby. So that is what you're going to need. And I think I'll just use one of these little ones. This is aluminum, and there's a bunch of different kind of metals that you can use. The aluminum seems to be the softest and the easiest to kind of start out with. So you're going to take your bench block, sorry about that. So I'm going to use one of these aluminum washers that I ordered off of eBay, and you're going to put it on your bench block, and then take a length of tape and just hold it down on your bench block. And the one thing that I've noticed, I watched a few videos, and sometimes you can get, like, especially if you're kind of going fast and not paying attention, you can mess up the orientation of your letter. So like my M could be upside down. So I take a little marker and I mark the side that is like where my thumb would go. So that would make sure that every time I see that my thumb is on that's going to be the right side for it to be stamped on, as long as it's facing towards me. So you just pick out what you're going to say. I think I'll just put angel. So I'm going to start with my A, and then I've got my little mark right there, so I know that that's where my thumb goes. And then I just try to line this up in the center. I'll also show you how you do it like on a square one, because that one sometimes, like if you have more space in between, it seems to be harder to know where your letter would go. So I'm just going to start out with this, and I'm going to put it right in the center. And then I'm going to take my hammer and just give it one good hit. And you can see, hopefully, the A is on there. And I know a lot of people have really nice sets. I got this one at Hobby Lobby for 20 bucks, and I used my 40% off coupon, and it seems to work really well, and I have no complaints. So I know some people are picky about getting like the $70 sets, but I don't want to pay $70 when I can pay $20 and use my 40% off. So my next letter is N, and I've got my mark there, so I know my thumb goes right there. And I try to line it up as close as I can without overlapping, because you don't want one of your letters to be on top of the other one. So you just kind of have to look and pull it back and make sure that it's where you want it. And like I said, I'm no expert at this. I just started, so this is just what I've kind of picked up. So, and so I've got the A and the N. And where's my G? And there's my dot. And then I'm starting to run out of space here. So I'm going to pick my tape up and rotate my washer a little bit. And there's my E. There's my little dot. And my last letter is L. My little dot. And so now I've got angel. And then I take my ink. And I don't know how anybody else does it, because I've always seen them use Sharpie, but I just kind of let a little bit come out and then try to rub it around, because it'll start dripping everywhere if you pour too much. So I just try to use it sparingly and then just rub it around to where it fills in the whole word. So that's gonna fill in the whole word there, and then you're gonna take your polishing cloth and just rub out the ink. And then sometimes around your letter, you'll still have like some extra ink. So I just give it a light spray with this little cleaner I bought at Walmart, just like a basic cleaner. And that seems to help take the extra off without actually taking it out of the word. And then if you don't think that you have enough in there, like this time I don't think I have enough, you can go ahead and give it another fill. Okay, and I'm pretty happy with that result. So, excuse me. So there you can see that I've stamped Angel into my little washer. Sorry about that. Okay, so now I want to show you how to do it on a square blank to kind of line up your, or a straight edge, I guess I should say, to line up your words. So I'm just going to use this little round one here. And again, you're just going to take your tape, and wherever you want your top letter, or sorry, the center of your word, you're going to want to go a little bit below that. So I want mine to go across this line right here. Actually, I'm going to adjust that just a little bit. I think I like that. So I'm going to put my son's name across there. So and I don't have this one marked yet, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this one. So, oops, sorry, the A is the center. That's the one thing, is if you're doing it straight across, you want to get your middle letter. So Isaac is I-S-A-A-C. So I'm going to use my A, and then you're going to start up here, and then you'll feel when it hits that tape, and that's where you're going to stop. And that way it's all going to be straight across. So I'm going to do my A first, and that way I know where my direct center is. And I'm going to go ahead and give this one 2 hits. And it looks like I double messed up that one. Oh. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Go right next to that and do my next A. And you have to hold it pretty firm, because like when I did this first A, I let up a little bit, and so it messed up that A. I don't know if you can see it, but it messed up that A when I hit it that first time, because I wasn't holding it hard enough. But you don't want to hold it too hard either, so you just kind of have to find what works for you. So I-S-A-A-C, so I need my C. And this one isn't marked either. So my S. This one isn't marked yet. I just started doing this a couple of days ago, so. I'm trying to figure out which way that's going to go, sorry. I think that's going to go that way, let's hope. So, pull that down, it hits the tape, hold it pretty firmly, 1, 2, and that was right, so I'm going to go ahead and mark that. Sometimes it can be confusing if you kind of second guess yourself. And then my I. And I got that one a little tilty. This one looks pretty bad, I'm going to tell you. And then I have these little decorator ones. This one's got a heart, and I've got one with wings and a halo. I'm going to put a little heart at the end of Isaac's name. This one's going to go in the trash because that doesn't look very good, but I just wanted to be able to show you guys what I've learned so far. So there is Isaac, and this one looks pretty bad, guys, with a little heart at the end. But that's why those washers are good. Like I said, I'm still learning, so the washers work really well for practice. Just go to your hardware store and grab a big old bag of them. I paid, I think, $1.89 for a lot. There was a big bag of them. And sometimes, depending on like what you're stamping on, some things are harder than others. Like this aluminum that we did first only called for 1 strike with the hammer because it's really soft. And I think it's the easiest that I've found so far to stamp. So I really like the aluminum. And then sometimes you have to hit harder, or it won't leave as much of an impression as you need. So that can be kind of a pain too, especially when it comes to putting in your ink, because it doesn't have anywhere to grab onto, I guess. But yeah, this one looks pretty rough, but that's the general idea. I just wanted to show you guys that if you keep your tape right there and then pull your letter down to it, then you'll know, or you'll have a straight line. I mean, like his name is pretty straight. It's just often the stamping wasn't the greatest, but his name for the most part is really straight. So I'm happy with the straightness because of the tape. I'm just not happy with my stamping on that one. I got the 2 A's a little close together. I double stamped one of the A's, and then I got my I kind of crooked, and I was probably going a little bit faster than I should have. But anyway, so that's that. But I think this one turned out pretty good. And like I said, I think the aluminum is really easy. These are, I think they were like $8, $9 for 24 on eBay. So that wasn't bad. And these, like I said, are easy to stamp with. But if you want to go cheap and dirty, just go to your hardware store and buy some of these little washers, and they're really not that difficult to stamp on. I think it just maybe depends on the kind of metal, and I really don't know what this is, but I'll show you. I'll put a little heart on here, and that's stamped pretty well. I think with these you just need to make a couple of strikes instead of one, but there's a little heart. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but anyway, so that's that. Like I said, I'm no expert. I just started. I just wanted to show you guys what I've learned so far, and I hope that this video was helpful to somebody. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I would be happy to help you. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and have a gentle night.